Hey gang, that was the solo to Gerry Rafferty's 1978 hit Baker Street. Really a cool tune, and actually a really great little solo. It's not the most famous part of the song, of course. The famous part is that sax line. But we'll do the solo. It's actually a very neat solo. So we'll go over it note for note. Hey, as always, if you like this, press the like button, and if you haven't yet, subscribe. And if you stick around to the end, there just might be a tiny surprise. Okay, see you in just a sec. All right, gang. First things first, you can download the tab from the link in the description below. It's definitely going to make your life a lot easier. I'm going to rely pretty heavily on it throughout this video. Second thing is, you can see I'm using a Les Paul. Now, in the Gerry Rafferty video, he's using a Strat with a maple neck nonetheless. I tried using an S-style guitar. I couldn't quite get the sustain I really wanted to without super doctoring it up or really putting a lot of gunk on it. So I went with the Les Paul. I do have a decent amount of gain on this guitar. I also have some reverb on it. I have some reverb and a tiny amount of delay. It's the late 70s, so having your guitar pretty doctored up was not too uncommon. But having said that, I'm not totally happy with the sound. Maybe you can do better, and let me know how you do it. All right. In any event, that's what I did. Les Paul, decent amount of gain, little reverb, tiny amount of delay. Okay, let's get to the solo. We're going to do this in a few chunks. All right, so the basic solo is in D minor pentatonic, okay? Now, we're playing it in different positions, so it's not just going to look like that blues box, but some of it will. Now, having said this, of course, there's many, many different ways you can finger these notes. I tend to like my bends on the second and third strings, so I'm doing pretty much all the bends on the second string, and I'm using that pentatonic blues box once or twice. Here's the whole of the first part. Okay, we're going to start out right up here on the 20th fret, okay? We're going to play 20th and drag that down to 17th 3 times. Then we're going to bend it up. So that's on the 20th fret. We're bending up a full step. Whole thing sounds like this. Make sure to give it lots of vibrato when you get it up there. All right, that's the first line. Here's the second line. Okay, down here in the 13th position now, we're going to take the 15th on the first string, bend that up a whole step twice, and then play this. Give it lots of vibrato. Okay, here's the next line. Kind of lost my sustain on that one. Okay, so on this one, we're starting out in the regular old blues box position, bending up on the 13th, okay, on the 13th second string, and then doubling it on the 10th. So it's a unison. It's not quite a unison bend, but it's a standard sort of blues trick. So we'll play that twice, right? So we'll play the 13th, bend it up, then the 10th, then the 13th, and bend it up, okay? Let that down, and then kind of slide it up. Oops, let me try this again. Now we're going to slide it up from 13th to 15th, and then play 13, 15, bend it up immediately to a full step on the first string. Dip it twice, and then start picking. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. and then slowly let it down. Here's that whole line, okay? And does it really matter if you hit it 7 or 8 or 6? No. All right, just feel it, baby. All right, let's play the second time around. First I'll play the whole solo, then we'll do it line by line. Here we go. All right, so let's start with the first part. The first part is exactly the same. We're starting up on the 20th fret, sliding down to 17 3 times, and bending up. Lots of vibrato if you can. Now there's a bit of a hesitation, and here's what I think is the coolest line. Now this is in some ways it's just a blues box line, but it is definitely cool. So it starts out on the second string with a standard bend. We're going to bend up the 13th, bring it down to the 13th, and then play the 10th. Okay, now this is the cool part. So the first thing is we're playing here on the 3rd, from the 12th to the 10th a couple times, and there's a double in there. On the end, I'm sliding up from the 10th to the 12th on the 5th string, and then play the 15th and the 12th on the 4th string. Now, if you want to stay in position, totally okay. You can play this. The reason I didn't do it is because I thought I detected a slide on this. So that's why I did it that way. All right? So anyway, here's the whole line. I'll play it slowly. Okay, here's the last part of the last line, okay? So here's the last line. We'll play it in 2 parts. Okay, so it starts out with exactly the typical one that we were doing in the first time around, which is the bend on the 15th first string. Okay, we're bending that up twice, and then giving it vibrato and holding. Then bringing it down. Then back up again twice, and a third time. So the whole thing sounds like this. Okay, and now we do the end part. Now the end part is a little bit garbled because the sax solo starts in, so it's only really important to get exactly those. Well, hey, this is rock, so it's not important at all to get anything exactly, all right? But we're going to try and get the first part exactly, which is like this. All right, so we're going to start out with the 3 15 to 13 pull-offs. Then we'll play 15 on the second and back again to another one of those pull-offs. So here's the whole thing there. Okay, now on the second string, 15 13 twice. Then 14 on the third, 13 on the second. And then 2 pull-offs, 14 12 on the third. 15 on the 4th, back to the 12th on the 3rd, 15, 12 on the 3rd, 2 of those pull-offs, 15 on the 5th, and 12 on the 4th. Like I said, the end of that part really doesn't matter because the sax solo has already started, so it's really just kind of blending. So let's play the whole thing slowly. The hardest thing to get is the 3 pull-offs the first time around. And that's it. All right, gang, I hope you enjoyed that one. Hey, before we hit the road here, I had that little surprise for you, and this is it. It's not really much of a surprise, but it is what it is. Hey, you know, Gerry Rafferty used to play that sax line, apparently, on his guitar. That's what I've been told. Haven't ever heard it. So we're going to learn the sax line. I'm going to try and demo it right now, and then we'll do it up close. All right, so here we go. All right, so there we go. That's basically it. Now let's take that one up close. All right, here's the sax solo up close. We're going to start up here on the 10th fret, 2nd string, okay? And then we're going to bend up 1/2 step on the 12th on the 1st string, so like this. All right, and so let's just follow this along. Give it lots of vibrato. Here it is again. That's the first line. Here we go on the second line. Again, lots of vibrato, right? Here it is again, second time. Okay, here's the coolest line, at least on the guitar, I think. Okay, what's cool about that one is we're hitting the 2nd string on the 13th and then coming down to the 12th, bending that up a 1/2 step and continuing to do that just a little bit, giving it vibrato, and up on the 10th. Okay, like so. Okay, here's the end. And that's the last line. All right, gang. That's it for this one. We'll see you on down the road.